Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. play the advert. Do you know? That always stuffs me up. I always start, and then they show. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just look like he's waiting just you start it.
Yeah.
They start to play.
I know. So I don't mind when you do it, but I feel like anytime I start, they'll put the advert on. But I overheard the referees and the coaches asking them to start early. So I wonder. Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Barbieri and welcome to NPL Victoria YouTube channel. While I'm here, I get you to click subscribe so you can keep up with the latest in Victorian football. It's a pleasure to bring you this afternoon's round 14 fixture, South Melbourne FC versus Alamein FC. Alamein are at the end of a 3-game week while South Melbourne are at the start thanks to Nike FC Cup football midweek. Alamein coming off a loss to Bulleen midweek, whilst South Melbourne will have Spring Hills FC this coming Wednesday. It's important to understand the context around these demanding weeks as coaches need to juggle the demands of quick turnaround times for their squads. This is when your benches need to be deep and the adaptability of your players are tested. Alamein have given the armband to Ash Lefebvre as she is set to make her 100th appearance for Alamein. She comes into the starting 11 alongside Leah Kapoulis, who were cup-tied midweek, in the backline with Emma Runnels returning to the park after a couple of games off. Maddie Van Doren and Matilda Lowry haven't made the matchday squad, whilst Dakota Tyson moves to the bench. South Melbourne have a centurion of their own in Grace Taranto, 100 games in the NPL for this 22-year-old, a great milestone for such a young player. Tyler Vlanic moves in. As players start to get things underway here at Lakeside Stadium, I'll just run through the team sheet for you, South Melbourne in their classic home blue strip with Christina Esposito, Olivia Bomford, Alana Byrne, Raquel Doralis, Eva Goodsmith, Annabelle Heffenden, Francesca Iamano, Bella Sewards, Grace Taranto, Tyler Vlanich, Misha Westland. And Alamein FC have Miranda Templeman in goals, Savannah Anastasopoulos, Estelle Bugias, Paige Clemenson, Neve Dustin, Zoe Horton, Ash Lefebvre wearing the captain's armband for her 100th game at Alamein. Anna Leokopoulos in the back line, Emma Reynolds in the midfield, Chinatsu Shidara in the back line with Jessica Shilton in at centre back as well. The clouds have just covered over the sun for a moment here. It has been a really lovely afternoon at Lakeside Stadium as TJ gets on the ball for the first time this season in the NPLW. She's come across from Essendon Royals last season in the NPLW after having gone through Melbourne City in this summer season. She has made her way into South Melbourne. She'll be playing on the wing today with Francesca Iamano on the left-hand side behind her. Be interesting to note how these coaches are both adapting to the Nike FC Cup fixtures. Alamein were forced to actually make some changes because Anna Leokopoulos and Ash Lefebvre were both cup tied for the Nike FC match midweek. As we see Grace Taranto, 100 games for the young defender. Just 22 years of age, making 100 games for the NPLW. She has had stints at A-League level, so it does detract from the number a little bit of what she could be having. Once again, South Melbourne, one of those teams in the leagues that have numerous players over the 100 cap mark. As we start to see Bella Sewards get onto the ball, Vlanich with her first expose into the box on the left-hand side. She crosses it in on the volley. Bella Sewards with the touchdown. Raquel Doralis can't get there. Cleared by Annie Heffenden. Heffenden caught on the ball but was able to get it back to Vlanich. Vlanich back. Westland to try and start again through Iamano. Bit of positional changes happening for South Melbourne from their last game as well. Taranto at right back, Byrne at centre back, Bomford out on the wing. Forward pass, finds Bomford on the right wing. She cuts inside. Sewards is there, but she's tightly marked by Dustin. Lefebvre with her first touches of the game. Reynolds goes all the way back. Bugias on the ball for Alamein. Sun shining again here. It could cause havoc for goalkeepers. Esposito in South Melbourne goal really finding it tough without a hat on. Referee Courtney Van Diesen in today with Denise Horner and Lauren White as assistant referees as we see our first free kick of the afternoon. Long ball in, doesn't clear the first play, but it is an Alamein player to get a touch on it. Anastasopoulos on the ball again for Alamein. Drops it back. Leokopoulos goes long. That sun really causing Esposito half a second of hesitation just so she could read the bounce. Byrne driving forward. Doralis can turn. She still has possession. Tries to get it out to Bumford, and Anastasopoulos ducks out of the way to keep it as an Alamein throw. Lefebvre, Leokopoulos playing in the middle of the park. Runnels on the ball. Goodsmith with the tackle. Still with Alamein though. Shilton out to Shadara. Shadara going long, looking for Runnels. Alamein. Versatile player, Alamein. She can play centre of the park, centre of the defence. She's the real muscle in the heart of this South Melbourne team. TJ goes back to Heffenden. Westland drops it to Byrne. They've got some acreage out here on the right-hand side. Taranto tries to drive forward. She finds Doralis. What a touch by Doralis. She gets it out to Bumford. Confident start for Doralis. She probably hasn't been on the team sheet as much as she would liked, with the score sheet, I'm sorry. She'd probably want a few goals more registered to her name. Clearance by Lefebvre. Horton tried to hold it up, but Byrne does well to dispossess. South Melbourne will start again. PJ in the back line, allowing Iamano to get forward, but now Bagias is on the ball. She'll drive forward. Pressed on the ball was Clemenson. Tight spaces for both teams in this opening minutes. Doralis on the turn. She's caught by Shadara, the Japanese national. Just getting between Doralis and the ball. Anastasopoulos tries to turn for Lefebvre. Anastasopoulos scored midweek. Some great pressure from her. Scored a goal within 2 minutes of that quarter-final starting. Lefebvre gets it to Anastasopoulos. They're working well together, the long-time Alamein players. Goodsmith picks up possession. She gets it out to Bumford. Francesca Iamano also playing in her 175th match this afternoon in the NPL. Also had stints in the A-League. Taranto with the throw. Shilton trying to clear it. Leokopoulos with the follow-up. Dustin with the long ball. Dustin played every minute of every match for Alamein this season. Runnels with the clearance, deciding that pressure was just a little bit too much. They'll look to start again, get their composure, set up their 4-4-1-1 block. Iamano challenged by Bagias. We'll see Clemenson go for a run, but assistant referee will put the flag up. Deemed outside the park. It'll be Iamano with the throw. South Melbourne, if they can get the switch happening quickly, do have time and space on this outer right-hand side. Keisha Sando usually playing it right back, usually takes that space really well, so it would be great to see Taranto do it in her stead. Sean Mikalev in his second game as coach for South Melbourne. He'll be looking to improve on the 0-0 draw to FV Academy last week. Player management here with the 3 games in 1 week. Always a great test for coaches. No Eva Kokotis on the bench either for South Melbourne. One of the other transfers in that mid-season transfer window from FV Academy. Goodsmith out to Byrne. Taranto tries to get it forward to Bomford, but Lefebvre in great position there to put enough pressure on the pass as Taranto got her head up, just making it slightly reduced space for Bomford to pick it up, which meant the pressure pushed it out. Lefebvre forward. Runnels goes inside to Dustin. Westland picks it up for South Melbourne. Seward's on the bounce. You can see Runnels with that heavily bandaged right knee. Maybe that is the issue that has kept her out of the matchday squad for a couple of weeks. Bugias with the overlapping run. Gets there before Yamano. She'll shape up. Recovering run from TJ. Just see a foul called as well. A bit of sportsmanship from Bugias, just apologising for the late challenge. Unintentional. Yamano on the ball. She'll call Heffenden over to take it. Heffenden going long. Runnels can pick it up in the middle of the park, but Doralis out to the left. Vlanic whips the ball in, back post, Seward, Bumford. Olivia Bumford there at the back post, waiting. Ball from TJ. The link up between Doralis and TJ Vlanic, coming from the Essendon Royals together, working together at Western United. That chemistry will work well for this South Melbourne team going forward, as we see Vlanic doing the hard yards against Shadara. Clemenson drops it to Bugias. She goes forward. Heffenden with the well-timed challenge, getting in front. Can't quite keep a hold of it though. South Melbourne will look to start again and apply the pressure to this Alamein FC squad. Templeman out to Shadara. Shinatsu Shadara out to Shilton. Lefebvre with the overlapping run. Shadara goes forward. Anastasopoulos tightly marked by Taranto. Deemed illegal in the eyes of Courtney Van Diesen. Dustin Shilton. Orton trying to hold it up. She's got 3 blue players around her. Lefebvre keeping possession. This time it will be out for a throw. Alamein Runnels with the flip on. Byrne clears. Taranto Horton controls for Alamein. Anastasopoulos. She's got Clemenson in the middle. Heffenden reads that pass well, cuts it out. Shilton goes inside to Dustin. Lefebvre this time has time and space. She'll look to cross early. Heffenden with the control. She heads back to Esposito. Byrne. Cross to Heffenden. Yamano. Cut out by Bugias for Alamein, but she sends it directly to Westland. Bugias wins it for Alamein. Leokopoulos is on the ball. She tries to go over the top to Anastasopoulos. It will be deemed offside though. Right idea there from Leokopoulos, just that one touch too many. South Melbourne trying to create a tempo that makes Alamein shift side to side and perhaps give them a lot more running, tire them out after this third game in a week. They do have a couple of fresh players out there. Ash Lefebvre is one of them. Westland tries to turn. Leokopoulos will pick it up. Strong work in the middle of the park by Leokopoulos. She goes out to Clemenson. Clemenson 1v1 with Iamano. She's in the box. Iamano with the challenge. Had to be perfectly timed there. Bugias goes all the way back to Shadara. Leokopoulos. Cut out by Grace Taranto. She'll drive here. Caught by Dustin. Alamein to be a battle. Horton. Esposito in the right place at the right time, closing down the space for Horton. Horton stays down though. One of those important interceptions from the goalkeeper. The pace of Horton, the slowness of that ball, just probably putting it into the favour of Horton, and Esposito had to do well to get out, stay low in the challenge in order to block the goal behind her. It'll be a drop ball here for Esposito. Courtney Van Diesen holding up the play so that Horton could be looked at, but once again not using the physio, opting just to suck it up, as we like to say. Byrne into Westland. Taranto, Bomford inside. One of those players playing sort of out of position is Bomford. She's usually a 10 in the middle of the park. Taranto challenge on Anastasopoulos. Initially, Courtney Van Diesen played advantage, but later deemed that there was no advantage to be played. And she'll call it back here for a dangerous set piece, especially with that sun directly behind this set piece with Dustin and Lefebvre on it. Lefebvre with the right foot, Dustin with the Lefebvre with the left foot and Dustin with the right foot. You can see anything happening here. It could be a shot on target. Esposito, funnily enough, using the light pole as a shade, which means that front post is that little bit open here. Front post run. Dustin for the strike. She sees that front post open, and Esposito had to move quickly to get something on it. The run from Lefebvre just giving the option of that run, but then the direct shot from Dustin had to be saved by Esposito. It'll be the first corner of the match going to Alamein. Clearance by Taranto. Bagirs on the top of the box. No one's stretching the park there for Bagirs. She wanted someone to get out wide in order to re-deliver. Both teams will reset here on this throw. Alamein applying the pressure now, setting the trap in that top corner. If South Melbourne are wanting to play, they'll have to do it under some pressure here. TJ with the long throw. She's pushed Iamano high. They'll try and relieve some pressure here. She'll go to Sewards. Ball ricochets out and it'll be an Alamein throw. Doralis gets there before Leakopoulos. Smart work from Doralis there. Taranto forward to Sewards. She has Bomford underneath, but Lefebvre does well to track the run. Sewards picks it back up for South. Bomford needs options. Alamein doing a great job in forcing her into the corner, but Bomford manages to steer clear of all of them. She gets it in. No front position for any South players there for Bomford means that Shilton is able to clear the danger for Alamein. Taranto into Doralis. Shilton applying heavy pressure. Shadara clears only as far as Heffenden though. Great work by Clemenson. She's driving now. She has Horton to her left. Byrne covers well. Last defender was Alana Byrne. She's had to steer it out for a corner though, but she's she has timed that challenge well. Last play is always a tricky one for centre backs. One mistimed challenge and you're up for a red card, but she's done well to clear the danger there. Alamein's second corner. Once again, that's Sun providing some obstacle. South with the zonal. Lefebvre in swinger. Clearance from Taranto. It'll go back for another Lefebvre corner. Two in quick succession here. Can they make the most of it? Alamein with time and space here to make runs into the box. Also Dustin at the top of the box, free as a bird. If they can get a block on here, you could see Dustin with the easy strike at the top. Lefebvre swings in, front post. Esposito comes to clear. Clemenson will find front position here. She sends the ball at the back of the post. Clearance by Westland. Danger averted for South Melbourne. Leakopoulos switching play. Lefebvre still on that right side. The left footer can drop it in, swing it. Runnels in prime position there, but well cleared by Heffenden. Shot on the turn by Dustin is an easy one for Esposito to swallow. Horton with the press this time. Trying to get Runnels to set the trap against Westland as we see Sewards go to ground. Pick up possession here for Ash Lefebvre, who's still on that right-hand side. She'll look to gravitate towards her side of the field any moment, but she may as well play in the midfield for a moment. Ball bouncing, eludes both players, but Goodsmith stays with Shilton. Shilton gets there first. The toe poke forward has Esposito out of the box. Horton might be able to catch her here. Esposito still out of the box. Bomford does well to clear danger to Westland. Bagias does well to come back and defend for Alamein. The recovery runs for these Alamein players have been phenomenal, especially considering they've had a midweek tussle against Bulleen. Always hard when the friendly fire comes, though, for Runnels in the middle of the park there. Grace Taranto with the push here. She'll get a yellow card, the first of the afternoon, for Grace Taranto in her 100th game in the NPLW. She'll go into the book here. Courtney Van Diesen just holding it up, organising the portfolio in the back pocket. Dustin, this time a little bit further out, but still that sun can cause havoc for any goalkeeper. She'll strike, and she goes long, this time not on target. Esposito has the options in the centre-backs who are wide outside the 18-yard box. It'll just ask the strikers to press that little bit further, but ultimately it just creates straight passing lanes that will be easy to press. Yamano going forward. Dustin tries to drop it in to Runnels. South Melbourne will come away with it. TJ jumps the challenge of Bagias, but can't jump the challenge of the sideline. Benches for both teams are stacked for both teams. Ayana Ayagi, South Melbourne have Ayana Ayagi, Bridie Cooling, Olivia Edwards, Nikki Furukawa, Alexis Pantazopoulos, and Sophie Papatsanis. Alamein, on the other hand, have Priya Archdeacon, Kate Bean, Maximilia, Harriet Lowry, Erin Stamatopoulos, Dakota Tyson. Ash Lefebvre will try and get on it here. She's got Anastasopoulos on the inside. She finds her, but play just slowing a little bit fraction too much, allowing for the forward pass. Alana Byrne nearly gave up on it, saw the pace of Anastasopoulos. She thought she might just be able to keep it in, and certainly looked like it from my vantage point, but unable to in the end. Esposito has the ball. Moves it to the side, though, just to try and create a little bit more of an angle for her teammates. Stray pass from Esposito. Anastasopoulos has Runnels in the middle of the box. Runnels on the turn. Clemenson inside. Clemenson and Horton just marginally getting in each other's way. Shilton retreating. Templeman will ask her to turn out. She does have time and space to do it. Leokopoulos giving the option inside. Alamein playing well out of this scenario, but the Runnels drop back wasn't quite on the mark. Esposito will clear. Another errant pass by Esposito has Clemenson on the ball. The long distance strike. The bounce just eluding both the goal and Horton at the far post. Alana Byrne asking her teammates just to stay calm in possession. It's man for man here for Alamein. They're looking to put that pressure high, creating that illusion of time and space, ready to trap the South Melbourne players. This time Esposito's on the money with her clearance to Iamano. Doralis with the run. Seward's trying to get into the box. Pressure there from Goodsmith and Seward meant that Shilton had to go out of bounds. Shadara fighting with Doralis, deemed illegal. Certainly a yank on the arm there by Shadara. She'll have a word with Courtney Van Diesen here, the referee this afternoon. Shadara with the technical and tactical abilities that every Japanese player brings to the NPLW. But the tenacity at which she was grabbing Doralis was not on, says Courtney Van Diesen. This time, TJ Heffenden with time and space in the box. Bomford with the ball. Shadara clears. Returned by Bomford. Ball bouncing. Shadara relieving the pressure for Alamein. Westland. Iamano glides past one, glides past two. Gets the ball to TJ. Iamano out on the left-hand side. Forward runs. Doralis. Shilton in perfect positioning to regain possession for Alamein through a goal kick. Some great work there, an interchange play. Their mobility on the left-hand side, South Melbourne creating havoc for Alamein. Iamano and TJ Vlanic able to interchange on that left-hand side. Certainly a strength that TJ provides this South Melbourne team. Goodsmith turns Leokopoulos. Leokopoulos able to just get enough onto it to send it to Dustin. But Grace Taranto once again restarts for South Melbourne. Clemenson turning for Alamein. She'll try and find Horton. Byrne gets there first. Super pressure there by Horton, but South Melbourne will play out of it. They'll take a breather here, South. Both teams playing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. The throw-in is a great opportunity to get the ball back and down and start again. Went to the 33rd, nearly into the 33rd minute here at Lakeside Stadium. It's still 0-0. Nothing can separate both of these sides. Doralis comes inside to Westland. TJ to recover. She goes through Alana Byrne. Westland bounces out to Taranto. They have time and space here if they can drive. It's still 2v3 here in favour of Alamein. The positioning of the back line doing a world of good for Alamein's ability to then transition forward. Horton inside is found by Lefebvre. Runnels with the long strike. She has another option on the right-hand side with Clemenson. And after realising, she does put up the hand of apology to Clemenson. Iamano inside to Goodsmith. Seward can't quite get a hold of it. Anastasopoulos has time. Her pass is errant, though. She does look that little bit fatigued. Seward loses Dustin, loses Runnels. Probably opts to pass that little bit fraction early. She's not really changed Alamein's positioning by passing that early. Byrne. Composed work from Byrne. Finds Bomford. Just the keeper to beat is Bomford. opts for the strike. Also had Doralis there. If she could have brought it down, she may have found an easy pass into Doralis that she could have just tucked it home. Tap-ins. But honestly, if a ball bouncing in the 6 yard isn't the gift of every striker's eyes, you can't blame her for trying to have a crack. Westland Kears, Runnels on the turn. She finds Leokopoulos. Leokopoulos on the no-look pass, switch back to Anastasopoulos. Cleared by Byrne. Anastasopoulos forward. Horton tries to find Lefebvre. It's a great run by Lefebvre. She certainly did it in stealth mode. Nobody could find her though. TJ forward to Doralis. Between Bugias and Doralis, that falls to the feet of Bugias. She goes forward to Horton. Hard to control the pace of that ball. Hold up play by Doralis. Finds Seward. Out to Iamano. Leokopoulos retreating for Alamein. This time TJ forward. Finds the switch of Bomford. She'll be offside though. The timing of that run just a little bit off. South Melbourne playing with the 2-10s. Trying to increase the pressure here on the 2-6s for Alamein. Shadara screaming for the ball to be switched for Alamein. No real knife-edge chances for anybody today. It's been a tough tussle in the middle of the park. A little bit of pendulum swing where it looked like there was going to be some fruit for Labour, but ultimately no keeper has had to make a save in this first half. Well, Esposito did have a couple of errant passes that probably had Alamein thinking that they should have at least a couple of more shots on target, as Courtney Van Diesen has called for the trainer. Looks like Paige Clemenson just on her haunches here. Unfortunate for the British striker. Looks in quite a lot of discomfort. This will be a time for both coaches, John Kyrgios of Alamein, to try and help his players find some solutions to what South Melbourne are throwing at them. Another player down with what looks to be a cramping in their team huddle. They'll be feeling it here, Alamein. Sean Mikalev will be working with his charges. He seems to be focusing on the centre of the park here with the assistant coach, and he's working with the strikers. Who will be able to break down both these sides? I feel like the options going forward have been few and far between because the defensive lines have been so great for both teams. But the speed of play is probably what is lacking in both teams at this point in time. Their two-touch rhythm, trying to get the ball from one side to the other to try and lopside the opposition. And the early pass seems to be the option for most players rather than trying to take charge and drive. Doralis looks to turn. Anastasopoulos has it for Alamein. Drops it into Leokopoulos. Anastasopoulos again. Shilton side swipes Bomford. Ferv forward to Horton. Horton tried to drop it in, but Grace Taranto will pick it up for South Melbourne. Alamein can start again here. Dustin on the switch, cleared by TJ for South Melbourne. It'll be an Alamein throw. Just over 6 minutes here of regular time left at Lakeside. It's still 0-0. Pagias back to Shidara. Lefebvre. Lefebvre wearing the captain's armband today, as I said in the pre-match. She's playing her 100th game for Alamein today. She's about 116 altogether in the NPLW, but this is a milestone for her Alamein journey. She did venture off to Bentley Greens for half a season. Clemenson on the ball, calls for offside, not registering. TJ asking the question about offside, but realising that possibly her teammates had been keeping her player onside. Long pass from Byrne, finds Doralis. Doralis switches in through Sewards. Taranto needs to get forward here to provide an option. Goodsmith, back post run by Doralis, controlled. Ball bouncing, gets it to Bomford. Can she keep it in? Lefebvre does well to protect. Eva Goodsmith in the middle of the park, doing well to create an opportunity moving forward for Bomford. Just the sheer tenacity, attacking the ball as it bounced. Shilton for Alamein. Will find the pass to Horton. Shilton asking questions, wanting a forward run. She has some options, but opts to go back to Templeman. They're a little bit lopsided now. They could actually go to a back three here, Alamein, with Bagia staying out wide. Leokopoulos finds her. Forward into Dustin. Controls. Can't quite get it to Lefebvre. Iamano. Doralis. Doralis cuts inside. Shidara with some tactical defensive work. Executed perfectly. That passage of play from South Melbourne a little bit quicker. That two-touch rhythm really exposing Alamein. How quickly can South Melbourne transition from defence to attack? Alamein very, very good at it. Eva Goodsmith goes wide to Bomford. Bomford trying to find Seward. Probably not the most dangerous option. Esposito moving it out to Heffernan. TJ skips the ball over Clemenson, who, after having a couple of minutes physio work, has made her way back onto the park, which is great to see. Shilton clears for Alamein. Double clearance with Anastasopoulos. Byrne forward to Seward. She drops it into Doralis. Challenge from behind there from Leokopoulos. Gives the helping hand up. Perfect opportunity here for dead ball specialists. They do have a number of them in this South Melbourne lineup. TJ will take. Courtney Van Diesen has asked for the whistle to be waited for. 3 in the wall here by Miranda Templeman. Certainly a dangerous position for TJ. TJ scuffs the ball, tries to find the option of a runner through the middle. Was asking for Doralis to make a run, trying to get a touch on it. GS plays forward to Clementson. Clementson keeps it, goes back to Shadara. Shadara will clear. Horton, ball bouncing. Burns able to capture it ahead of Horton. Westland goes back. Anastasopoulos gives chase. Trying to block the pass to Taranto. Taranto finds Bomford. Back to Westland. Late call there by Courtney Van Diesen. Just meant that Alamein thought they were away, but it will be a South Melbourne free kick. Burn with the switch. Missed time pass there. Disappointing for Alana Byrne. Experienced campaigner Alana Byrne. Many years at Bulleen. Came to South Melbourne FC this season. Just been a versatile addition to this squad. She can play centre back, she can play centre mid. She's asking questions there. Heffenden on the switch. Finds Iamano, then TJ. She's got an option in Eva Goodsmith. But Flanish, TJ on the ball. Always an effective winger / overlapping fullback. As we see Byrne giving chase. Horton coming together. Nothing illegal in that challenge. Byrne having great position, as that'll be the halftime whistle here at Lakeside. There's nothing that can split these two teams. Alamein FC coming off the quarterfinal of the Nike FC Cup, doing well to keep this at 0-0. No gilt-edged chances for either side at the moment, but we'll look forward to the second half action as the teams go in for halftime break. We'll have the countdown clock as company for you for the next 15 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. as Courtney Van Diesen looks to get this second half underway. Teams locked in at a 0-all draw currently at halftime, as we see a halftime substitution happening for South Melbourne, as we see Nikki Furukawa entering the field for Bella Seward's. The winger will likely shape up in that right wing position, with Olivia Bumford moving into the midfield where she's usually well known for. Alamein haven't made any substitutions from their starting 11 team. South Melbourne taking their extra little in the transfer window. Dustin to get us started here for Alamein. Goes long. Haffenden with the clearance for South Melbourne. Clemenson forward to Horton. Runnels looks forward. Passes blocked by South Melbourne. Taranto, our NPLW Centurion here, out on the right hand of defence. Clearance by Esposito, falls to Doralis. Can't quite get enough on that to put it in the path of Furukawa though. Doralis regains possession, drops it to Bomford, out to Furukawa. Furukawa beats Lefebvre, ball into the box. Goodsmith on the header, straight at Templeman. It's a good start from South Melbourne in this second half. Looking lively already. Furukawa impacting the game almost instantly, coming off the bench. She'll find Goodsmith again. Goodsmith back out to Doralis. Doralis tries to cross, but Lefebvre manages to impact the striker. She'll clear for touch there. It'll be a South Melbourne throw. Grace Taranto venturing forward to take this. Dustin just loses a footing there on the clearance. Dustin also having played every minute of the season so far for Alamein. The only other player to do that for Alamein is Shadara. Bomford back to Taranto, forward to Furukawa. Bomford turns, drives. She can see the goal, but cleared by Shilton for Alamein. TJ drives inside. Goodsmith into TJ, out to Iamano. Side swipes Bagias, cuts inside onto the right foot, blocked by Shadara. TJ this time with the right-footed, clip on by Doralis. Can't turn it towards goal though. TJ, Iamano and Doralis all having worked alongside each other for many seasons, whether it be at South Melbourne here or at Western United, even Calder. Bomford out to Taranto, forward to Furukawa. Lefebvre impacts the play there to get Alamein the throw. Runnels can't quite nod it back to Lefebvre. Difficult one for Runnels to control, especially running in at that pace. Taranto into Bomford. Bomford using the pressure of Dustin to turn inside. Bugias can clear for Alamein. Bomford with the tackle, places it in Furukawa's path. The cross inside the box is cleared by Shidara. Bomford on the return. Tries to get the clearance. Strike by Westland. Doesn't trouble Templeman. More questions being asked by South Melbourne in this second half. Certainly have the tide of possession definitely in their favour for this second half. Runnels picking it up in the middle of the park. Pressure from Westland. Gets it to Eva Goodsmith. She'll strike. Shidara to take for Alamein. She'll clear long. Goodsmith for South Melbourne. Has it fall for Iamano. Iamano driving into the box, trying to go past Shidara. Well-positioned defensive play by Shidara. This time Alamein will play out. South Melbourne probably not switched on for that pressure moment. Westland probably trying to find Bomford there, but couldn't lock the pass in. Shilton out to Lefebvre. Gives it back to Anastasopoulos. Leakopoulos tries to bounce it out to Lefebvre. Lefebvre can keep it in. Horton loses her footing though. Byrne sweeps it forward to Bomford, out to Furukawa. There are numbers in the box if they can get there. Front position by Doralis. Bomford, one more. She puts it at the feet of Templeman, and Templeman does enough to clear the danger, but it ricochets off the South Melbourne player on the way out, creating another goal kick opportunity for Alamein. This time the Sun beating down on the Alamein backline. Bugias goes forward. Runnels finds front position and gets the ball to Clemenson. Some strong work by Runnels. What a ball by Clemenson to Horton. Horton grounds Esposito. Nobody in the box for Alamein. Just blue shirts there covering that sweeping transition from Alamein. They're well known for. Runnels, a creator in the middle of the park with that strong work. Runnels on the off-balance right foot. Can't quite get enough onto it to trouble Esposito. But the link-up play between Clemenson, Runnels, Horton has been paramount to their success this season out at Alamein. Numerous goal scorers for Alamein FC. Provides a huge landscape for opposition teams to try and keep them contained. The pace of Clemenson and Horton and the strength of Runnels, Dustin in the middle of the park, Tyson as well, creating a huge amount of opportunities for them going forward. Not to mention Anastasopoulos as well with her pace. Forward throw, cleared by Clemenson. Eva Goodsmith just coming together with Dustin there. It'll be a free kick for Alamein. Shadara looking to play quickly. Dustin. Out to Shilton. Anastasopoulos with the lovely touch inside. Just composed work there. Shadara looking to switch. Shilton forward now. Lefebvre. Ball in behind. Runnels can chest it down. Recovery from Alana Byrne. Alamein still have it in their front third. Ball into the box. Lefebvre touched by Haffenden. Had to be held. Clemenson on the volley. Vlanic with the block. And Esposito will calm things down and restart for South Melbourne. Great passage of play there for Alamein FC. Can't quite get any meaningful quality on goal though to really trouble Esposito. Neither team doing any damage to the goalkeeper's save tally this afternoon. Byrne gets out of the pressure from Horton. Haffenden switches out to TJ. She's just trying to ask for the ball a little bit in front so she can try and press further up the park. TJ finds the ball, gives it to Doralis. Doralis on the turn. Templeman does well to protect that front post. Just that immediate sense of pressure from South Melbourne, just giving them that little bit of more teeth going forward, creating opportunities as Clemenson can't keep the ball in for Alamein. TJ into Doralis. TJ trying to find a passage of play to create something. Combination play from South Melbourne, not really creating more opportunities, just allowing Alamein to press in the wide area. Ball over the top from TJ, sees Shilton clear the danger for Alamein. Brown Marshall with the volley. South Melbourne, Bomford can turn. She'll have to start again, all the way back to Byrne. Byrne swings it out to Taranto. Furukawa can't control. Runnels with the header to Anastasopoulos. Eva Goodsmith with the tackle though, picks it up for South Melbourne. Bomfin alive in the middle of the park. She's been sitting out on the right wing for the first half. She's feeling much more comfortable in the centre of the park there as she tries to switch the play through Taranto. Dustin inside for Alamein. Lefebvre back to Shilton. Pressure from Furukawa. Once again, Furukawa impacting play. Runnels on the sideline trying to create a flick-on opportunity for Alamein. Furukawa wins it in front though. She'll flick it on for Doralis, but Shadara's there. Bomford turns, Dustin. She drives forward, Bomford trying to engage a player. She suits herself, goes straight down the throat of Templeman. Can score Olivia Bomford, but Templeman, newly acquired signing in the transfer window, not troubled at all by that strike. TJ trying to find some combination play. She finds Doralis, who's unmarked for the moment. Westland trying to get the ball in front of Bajirs, but it'll drop to Iamano. Iamano glides inside, trying to open up the park for South Melbourne, trying to create something going forward. Alamein doing well to stay compact, making South Melbourne go round. Runnels holding up the play once again. Dishes out to Lefebvre. Lefebvre turns out of pressure, but ball travels over the sideline once again. Furukawa giving chase, Shidara with the clearance. Furukawa, the Canadian, joining South Melbourne at the start of the season. Matt Shepherd bringing her over. Runnels perhaps just mistiming her passes. This is the first game she's played in a few weeks, so just trying to get that touch back. Goodsmith. Clemenson wins that battle. Forward to Horton. Horton touches inside to Runnels and will be fouled in the meantime. Ball will be brought back for Alamein. South Melbourne already gone to the bench at half-time with Furukawa coming on for Bella Sewards. What does John Kyrgios have in mind to make the changes needed? Shidara goes long. Clearance by Westland, nods it to Horton. Runnels still in possession, goes back to Horton. Horton, no ricochet, falling to an Alamein player there as South Melbourne come away with it on the right-hand side. But ball will stop once again for a throw. Leokopoulos driving forward. No options, but opts to pass out to the left-hand side. Maybe they look to press here. Esposito on the ball. She'll go long. Straight to Lefebvre. Lefebvre had a stint in the American colleges. Clemenson on the ball now. Ball won by TJ, but not enough to keep it in. Bergeras will look to start again for Alamein on this throw. Clemenson holding up, play, turns, goes forward. She's got Thomas Boyd. She's got numbers in the box. Great tackle by TJ. It'll be Alamein's first corner of the second half. Dustin with the set piece. It'll be a right foot outswinger here, or she can drive it through the box. South Melbourne with the heavily zonal positioning. Alamein can strive for the ball. Back post, Runnels, clearance by Goodsmith off the line. Lefebvre on the ricochet. Can't quite keep it down. Goodsmith was there for South Melbourne. That should be 1-0 for Alamein. But Goodsmith saving the day. Runnels rising high at the back post. Superb delivery from Dustin. South Melbourne FC get away with one there. Byrne slipping over. Goodsmith have time though to take the touch. Haffenden will clear for South Melbourne. South Melbourne has had lion's shares of the possession, but Alamein still capable of providing that heart attack for any opposition team. Runnels with the late challenge there. We'll see Bomford go to ground. Gingerly getting up. Taranto standing over it. What a clearance there by Eva Goodsmith. Esposito was beaten. It was going well and truly in the back of the net, but Goodsmith with the clearance. Clemenson this time, can they transition forward? Horton with the touch. Clemenson once again following up. South Melbourne retreating, recovering well. I can sense an air of Alamein tenacity forward. They certainly don't look tired as they should after having done a quarterfinal midweek, and the ball pressed well by Alamein will give them another corner. Second of this second half for Alamein. They can be a danger here in the set piece routine. They have so many tall players in their midst, and their ability to run at the ball here. Dustin deliver once again, this time clearance by TJ for South Melbourne. Dustin will go all the way back to Leokopoulos. She's got back post runnings by Runnell. Runnell comes out. Esposito comes out, gets the clearance, a well-timed fist from Esposito. Pushes the ball out. Certainly needed to be a well-timed challenge. Byrne, Esposito to clear. Goodsmith had to try and turn it into something productive. Came at a million miles an hour. Runnels with the switch. Shadara into Clemenson. Shadara caught on the ball. She'll either have to foul or pick up possession. She'll keep chase here, Shadara. Closing in on the 66th minute here at Lakeside. Still 0-0 between these two teams. It's been a little bit more fruity in the front third. A little bit more fruit for the labour of both teams. Clearance by Goodsmith off the line for South Melbourne means it's still 0-0. Westland gets there before Shadara this time. Goodsmith pulls the trigger. Leokopoulos there for the block and sends it out for a corner. South Melbourne's first of the second half. They'll be looking for an in-swinger here by TJ. It's actually their first corner of the game. TJ Vlanic, superior on the left-hand side for the corners. South Melbourne will look to crowd the keeper here for Akara. Free at the back post. They'll drag Horton all the way back in. This leaves Westland and Goodsmith at the top of the box. TJ to deliver. Grace Taranto was there. Ball falls to Doralis, and she can't quite keep it down. That's so unfortunate for Doralis. It was prime position for any striker in that 6 yard as we see South Melbourne heading to the bench. There'll be a substitution. That would be the last of the phrase forward for Doralis. She'll be exiting the field of play. Alexis Pantazopoulos will come on in her stead. Substitution also for Alamein as we see Savannah Anastasopoulos make way for Priya Archdeacon. Pantazopoulos with the chase. Alamein playing out through the back. Shilton nearly caught on it. She gets it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre goes forward. Archdeacon's first impact on the game. She goes to ground. Haffenden trying to switch play. Vlanic stays inside. TJ on the ball, asking for options inside. A little bit frustrating for the left back. Horton clearing the danger. Lefebvre cuts inside. Goes back out to Archdeacon. Leokopoulos, strike. Probably opting for maybe a Horton run there as well. Can't quite assume that she was shooting. But certainly was looking like it was on target. Alamein tearing back that feeling of they're still in this game. South Melbourne came out of the blocks hard at half-time. Had a few chances, but nothing that troubled Templeman. Alamein with the best chance of the afternoon, but Goodsmith was there to clear off the line in that corner situation. Goodsmith on the ball at the moment, now gives it out to Furukawa. Lefebvre steals it. Horton may have been offside, tracking back, and she knows it too. Disappointing for Horton. Lefebvre saw her free, perhaps almost too quickly transitioned. Byrne looking for options. Haffenden dropping off to try and create some space. Bomford turning Dustin in the middle of the park. Furukawa cuts inside. She's brought down, but nothing to do there, says referee Courtney Van Deesen. Goodsmith with the clearance. Archdeacon goes to ground, but again, it's just a throw. "20 minutes left to play here at Lakeside. 0-0. Pantazopoulos on the ball for South Melbourne FC. She keeps possession well. Grace Taranto goes forward. Runnels picks it up for Alamein. Dustin tries to give it back to Runnels, but the 1-2 does not come off. Archdeacon trying to hold up play for Alamein. Shilton clears. South Melbourne picking it up though. Archdeacon once again, a second half substitute, trying to make an impact. Horton has Clemenson. Horton still has it. Clemenson can have a snapshot, but TJ Vlanic there for the clearance. Taranto with the throw, gets it to Furukawa. They can play here, South. Archdeacon with the tough work in midfield. Clearance by Byrne. Horton retreats to pick it up once again for Alamein. Alamein standing firm in the middle of the park. Lefebvre with the delivery. No one with a red shirt though, but it'll still fall to Runnels. Runnels with the snapshot. Westland gives the block. Hold up play by Pantazopoulos now. She's turned. Shilton, the young striker, getting forward. She takes it past Shadara. She cuts it back, but not enough on it. Templeman will have to be careful here. She kind of didn't realise that she had two players there. And Iamano, just a slight tug of the shirt for Templeman Templeman goes down quite easily, which will mean that there's a yellow card for Iamano there. That's the second yellow of the afternoon for South Melbourne. Another substitution for Alamein. We'll see Emma Runnels off. And Maximilia on. And then for South Melbourne, we'll see Grace Taranto exit the pitch and Sophie Papatanis. So straight swap there. Grace Taranto off. Sophie Papatanis at right back. And then a straight swap for Alamein in Maximilia and Runnels. Maximilia had an opportunity to take Alamein to a draw in the Nike FC Cup, but she was thwarted by Erin Hudson in a one-on-one. Her eyes lit up. Maybe she can do something similar here this afternoon for Alamein. As we see, Bougia gets the ball to Maximilia. Byrne driving forward. Iamano out to Bomford. The clip to Pantazopoulos from Bomford. It'll fall. Cleared by Shilton. Bomford with the first time plus to Iamano. Cleared. Temperatures have dropped here at Lakeside. Still no wind, so certainly a comfortable afternoon for players. TJ with the long throw, cleared by Shilton. Westland retreats to Heffenden. Clemenson to clear, and Shadara gets it extra wide as Byrne falls. Recovery by Papatsanis. Maximilia doing all the hard yards since she's come on in the last minute or so. Shilton can't quite get the ball out to Lefebvre on the overlapping run. Be an Alamein throw now. Lefebvre goes forward. Maximilia with the touch. Archdeacon surrounded by two. Leokopoulos tries to generate something going forward. But a battle ensues. Goodsmith with the turnout. She'll switch to Iamano. Iamano has players for company. She'll take it inside. Options were forward, but just too much on that pass. Pantazopoulos looking to make the run, but not in behind. Probably wanted it to feet. This time Shilton will drive. Errant pass from Shilton, has the ball. Pantazopoulos. Furukawa coming inside. Diving challenge from Furukawa. Still has it for Alamein to clear. Leokopoulos does well. Maximilia with the flick on. Horton giving chase. Haffenen with the clearance from South Melbourne. Maximilia holding up play for Alamein. Papatsanis takes the touch, but Maximilia regains possession for Alamein. Dustin forward to Clemenson. Haffenden inside to TJ. TJ trying to create something in the middle of the park. Westland driving forward. Goodsmith tries to find her, but the ball ricochets to her feet. This time she gets it to Westland, but errant pass from Westland. Alamein driving forward now. I'll try and start again, but Westland thwarting that play. Shadara looks forward. Haffenden well positioned to clear. TJ gets it to Iamano. Bugias for Alamein. Strong work by both players there. Once again, body on body, Pantazopoulos comes away with it. The striker doing all she can to keep possession. Tackles, falls to Alamein. Archdeacon tries to find Maximilian but loses her footing. Not the best pass in her eyes either. She throws the arms up. Furukawa gets the ball to Westland somehow. Westland turns. She's surrounded by players and she's off. Turns to Westland. Ball in the box. Bomford can't clear. Can't clear the diving outstretched hand of Templeman. TJ out to Iamano. Iamano inside. Goodsmith on the turn. Ball into the box. Westland again. South Melbourne wave after wave here. Papatsanis direct to Templeman. That'll relieve some of the pressure for Alamein. South Melbourne, probably their best venture forward this afternoon. Still deadlocked at 0-0 here at Lakeside. Just under 10 minutes to play here. Nothing that can separate both of these teams as we see a huge shove in the back from Horton on Papatsanis. Questions being asked by the South Melbourne bench as we see Alamein looking to make two more substitutions. Furukawa comes away with it. Pantazopoulos is actually kept onside by Bugias. The far post shot not on target. Bugias asking the question of the assistant referee, but it's actually her that was keeping them onside. Pantazopoulos doing well to keep playing as everyone calls for the offside. As we see Horton exit the field, Anna Leakopoulos also exiting the field as we see a trio of substitutions for Alamein. Harriet Lowry, Tyson in the midfield, and Erin Stamatopoulos. Dustin out to Clemenson. Clemenson has time and space. She had Maximilia in the center of the park, and it did mean that Esposito just gravitated towards the center of the goal there, which made it seem like Clemenson had an opportunity and space to shoot at that front post. She may have just seen it in the corner of her eye, but maybe that impacted on her ability to keep it on target, because Esposito did leave that front post that little bit open for her to have a look. Bugias was the other player to make way for Harriet Lowry in at right back. An injection of energy here for Alamein. Those substitutions really making it clear that they want to make a difference for their Alamein side. Shadara. She's looking long, but she needs options short as well to create some space for others. Byrne, Bomford, ball bouncing, gets it to Shilton. Alamein going forward now. Quick counter attack. Dustin has Haffenden for company as Archdeacon holds up play, gets it to Dustin. Ball ricochet, doesn't fall to Alamein. Falls to blue shirt in Sophie Papatanis. Goodsmith, well-timed pass through to Iamano. She's got Harriet Lowry for company. Iamano tries to find the back post run of Bomford. Frustrating time for South Melbourne FC. They can't quite get into the front third with any grit. Not really troubling Templeman this afternoon in goals for Alamein. Alamein have cleared the bench. South Melbourne do have options. As we see the Ferv go forward. Maximilian falls over, but it's cut out by Westland. Westland and Furukawa are doing well. Interchange of play, combinations. Cleared by Lefebvre. Maximilia trying to find something for her Alamein teammates. She crosses it in. Dustin. Back to Archdeacon. They'll swing it here if they can find Harriet Lowry. She has time and space. Covered by Iamano. Westland forward. Pantzopoulos gives chase. Battles it out. Shilton probably just hit the deck really hard there. It's one of those ones where you're off balance, and if you get shoved at the wrong moment, just takes your breath away, even can cause a concussion with the whiplash. Hoping she's okay to come out of that challenge. They'll have to slow play here, Alamein, just to get her checked on. She just get up gingerly. Play will restart with TJ and a throw. Ball still in play. Lowry tries to clear. Iamano driving into the box. Iamano crosses. Touch from Templeman. Just enough to glance it over the bar from Templeman. That sun, probably the worst it's been. Right in that eye line. Organisation from both teams, leaving a couple of players free at the top of the box. But with TJ Vlanich on the ball, she'll whip that in. Rising, ball bouncing, Templeman, it crosses the line. That final touch looks to have come from Iamano at the back post. South Melbourne has stolen it in the final moments here at Lakeside. There's plenty of time for Alamein to regain that parity. Esposito and Templeman coming together. I'm sure it's been light-hearted, but Templeman trying to get in amongst the celebrations of South Melbourne. Superb delivery by Vlanich. The crowding of the keeper creating all sorts of havoc for Alamein. And the delivery from TJ Vlanich. Alamein will strive again to go forward to try and pinch it. Ball falling to Archdeacon. Byrne and Archdeacon come together, but waved away by Courtney Van Diesen. Alamein did have one of their shots cleared off the line by South Melbourne FC in one of their corner situations, but all the experience in the world now from South Melbourne FC trying to calm it down, slow things down in order to keep this lead intact. Maximilia will even chase the ball to try and keep things flowing for Alamein. Furukawa holding it up for South Melbourne. All the touches help. Alamein regain possession through this throw-in. They'll push on players here, Alamein. They'll try and regain parity. Cleared by Papatsanis and Furukawa. Panazopoulos holding up well. Just the no-look pass there, just diffusing it for South Melbourne. Alamein pushing forward. Slipped over by Maximilia there. That looks incredibly dangerous as she landed on the pole. The flag for the corner. Burnt to take. Burn goes long. Ball bouncing. Iamano got 3 red shirts around her. Harriet Lowry will come out with it. Ball bouncing. Vlanic forward to Iamano to clear the danger for South Melbourne. We're into added time here at Lakeside. It's 1-0 to the home side. Alamein driving, trying to find the equaliser. Lefebvre going forward, tackled by Furukawa. Lands straight back at the feet of Lefebvre. Stamatopoulos goes forward. Dustin with the strike. It was a stinger, but Esposito with body behind it. Esposito will go long here. Harriet Lowry trying to keep it in. Does so. Gets the ball to Clemenson, but on the bounce it'll come out. Shadara will come out through Shilton. Clemenson on the touch. TJ with the volley forward. South Melbourne will even go to the bench here, try and make another substitution. This time a defensive substitution. If they can manage it, might not end up having to. Recovery by Vlanic. Given away by Haffenden. The transition. Maximilia gives chase. Byrne clears the danger for South Melbourne. Long from Shilton. Maximilia holding it up on the second. She'll get there. Lowry looking for Clemenson. TJ picking up the play. She'll drive forward. She'll put it into the corner. Pantazopoulos being told by her teammates to take it to the corner and keep it. Pushed over by Shilton. But nothing called. Iamano clears. Referee not allowing the substitution. And that'll be full time here at Lakeside. Alamein dead on their feet after their third match in a week. It's been a tough afternoon for the Alamein players, but they should hold their heads high. They were in it all the way to the end. South Melbourne in the 86th minute with Francesca Iamano, captain's tuck-in in the dying minutes. Breaks the heart of Alamein FC supporters, but it's been a thoroughly enjoyable match this afternoon. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you on the NPLW YouTube channel. My name's Melissa Barbieri. Good night.